In this movie, I'm going to be importing the assets for our project, the assets we're going to be using to build our game. Now, these assets consist of the native asset packages that come with Unity, as well as additional assets that have been designed specifically for this game. So to get started, the first set of assets I'm going to import are the native assets. You can do that by moving up here to the File menu and choosing Assets and Import Package, and we get a list of different packages here. Now, if you don't see these items in your list, for example, if your import package menu is completely empty except for the custom package option, then you may need to download the asset packages separately from the Unity website. So let me just bring over a web browser window. And you can see in this web browser window, I'm at unity3d.com, get Unity download page. And you can see that I have the download Unity option. Further down this page, you will see an option that says additional downloads for Windows, for example, because I'm using a Windows PC. For you, it may say Mac if you're using a Mac, but you can click on that option here and you will see that one of the options is the standard assets option. So you may need to go ahead and download that set of packages in order to get those options inside your Unity editor. So you may need to get those standard assets. I'm just going to minimize this window here and return back to the Unity editor. Now I'm going to import a range of different packages. I'm going to choose Assets, Import Package. I'm going to be importing pretty much every single package in this list, except for the Vehicles package. But with the exception of the Vehicles package, I'm going to be importing everything else. So I'm going to show you how to import one of the packages, and then really you just have to do the same for all the others. So I'm going to select, for example, the 2D package. I'm going to click on that. And when we do that, we get this option appear, or this menu appear, this importing package dialog. And if we scroll down, you can see practically every option in the list here has been enabled. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to leave this at their defaults. And in fact, all the other packages I'm going to leave at their defaults as well. So I'm just going to choose Import button here. And then when I do that, Unity will go ahead, cycle through all those assets, and then import them into the project. When the import process is completed, it will then populate the project panel down here with the assets that it has imported. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to off screen import the remaining assets into the project. So you can see here in the project panel, it has imported all the assets that consist in that 2D package. Off screen, I'm going to import the remaining ones and then resume recording when I've left off there. So off screen, I've gone ahead and imported the remaining asset packages. And in the project panel, we're left with two main folders, the editor folder and the standard assets folder. These two folders are related and you should not remove either one of them. The standard assets folder contains the fundamentals of the asset packages that we have imported, and the editor folder contains that portion of the assets we've imported that in some way change or enhance the Unity editor, as we'll see in just a moment. So before I go ahead, I just want to pay particular attention to some of the assets that we are going to be using that are included in the standard assets section. I will cover them in more detail near the time that we actually use them, but just to give you an idea about some of them, if I double click on the standard assets folder, you can see that we have a folder here which is pretty much named after the asset packages themselves. If, for example, I go into the particle systems folder and then I go into the prefabs folder, you can see that we get a range of different particle systems that we can simply drag and drop into our scene to start using straight away. For example, if I drag and drop the fire mobile into the scene, you can see that we get this fire particle system. That looks pretty convincing, and we can even kind of move it around to center this up and position this somewhere in our scene. But right now I don't want to use that system. We're also going to be making use of the steam system, for example. So I'm going to drag and drop this and we get some steam inside the level. We're going to be using that to create a kind of chimney effect for the house. I'm going to delete this one as well. Another asset package we're going to be using, if I go back up to the standard assets folder here, is the image effects or the effects group. So if I double click on effects, you can see we've got quite a lot of different data here. And as well, inside the editor folder, you can see we have an image effects folder. And these options allow us to choose menu options up here. So if I choose component, you can see we get this option down here called image effects. And this gives us a range of different image effects or special effects that we can apply to the camera object in the scene to enhance the rendering of our level. We're going to be making extensive use of those as well. So in short, that is a brief overview of the standard asset packages that we've imported into our project. Next, I want to take a look at the custom assets that are designed specifically for this game that we're going to be using.